can't believe my son did it. I mean, he's 4 years old. We're working in the garage. I'm working in the garage, and we back up to the alley here, and I need line of sight, like any good parent, right? I need line of sight because I want to make sure he's safe. And so I've kind of watched him. Well, all of a sudden he kind of goes out of my range of sight here. And so I step out into the alley, and he's over by the garbage cans, which is still within a safe distance. And he says, "Can I be here?" And I said, "Yeah, that's fine. You can be there." And I go back into the garage, and then I come out, I don't know, a minute or so later just to check on him, and he's peeing next to the garbage cans. And I'm about ready to say, "What?" 4-year-old boys are prone to doing this. I'm about ready to maybe lose it when it suddenly occurred to me. He didn't ask, "Can I be here?" He asked, "Can I pee here?" Communication. Are we communicating here? Another one, I'm Craig Ross. One of the things that teams that are doing, exceptional work is that we're noticing that they have leaders and teammates who can accelerate their ability to communicate effectively. And one of the most important ways we can do this, or unique ways we can do this, that'll differentiate your team is creating a common language. Now, we all know the power of common language. If I live in the US, if I go to Spain, I don't speak Spanish very well, and so we're going to have some difficulty. And so if we're to break that down to any team, any company, the ability to communicate with the same understanding is really, really critical. Here are 2 things you can do very quickly within a new team or an existing team to accelerate and enhance our ability to communicate as it relates to establishing common language. Number 1 is build awareness. Seek and find those moments when your team is in a peak state. You feel like everyone's really present in the room. Oftentimes it's when someone's laughing and they'll say something, and you can grab what they've said and use it as an anchor and reference that in the future as a moment that creates a peak state. Or it could be something that someone says as it relates to moving through a difficult time. In other words, it's something sticky, something memorable, very quickly. One team that I was working with here in Denver, oftentimes clients will bring their teams to Denver, and we were working with them through some issues. And one of the things that they discovered was that they wanted to be able to address tough issues quickly, but in a way that it built trust between people. And so one of the team members simply said, "We need to have these Denver discussions more often." Bingo. There was the awareness. We planted that. What's a Denver discussion look like? How will you repeat Denver discussions? No surprise, months later, what is this team using as their common language? They're approaching each other saying, "I'd like to have a Denver discussion with you." Common language. The second thing we can do, of course, is the mind. So often, so many of us are visual. This is the power of emojis. I mean, you and I both know we can simply put a smiley face, and that little symbol communicates our entire emotional state within a written document. Well, we can do the same as it relates to establishing a common language that fuels our communication. By simply, Denver discussion, we could write a mountain. And now someone walks into a meeting, and there it is on the flip chart, a mountain. Everybody knows that we're going to have that Denver discussion. Several of you have gone through the Veris Global programs, may know our energy map. It's really simple and straightforward. It's a circle, has a centerpiece, has an arrow going backwards, an arrow going forward. The people who know the energy map know that it stands for where we put our focus, and where do we need to put our focus to be more productive. Awareness, a visual that represents something that's important to us as a team. What common language does your team already possess that you want to possess, that you want to reinforce with your team so that you can accelerate and strengthen your communication? Let's do big things.